I started finding out what products exist in mobile internet. And suddenly, I think it just happened that I was sitting on my couch and I was doing certain activities on my phone. And I just realized that, man, on this phone I have to do everything. It's called a smartphone, but I am doing all the stuff. If I leave this phone on my coffee table, it's not doing anything for me. So that's the space which actually realized that there is an opportunity on that core technology stuff, wherein I thought there is something we can do. Wherein why can't that smartphone become a human-like device?
So you would imagine that to be your aha moment per se?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes. So I think that was the thing I realized. Okay, this is what I want to do now.
Right.
And I didn't leave that for 2 years till I got my first funding from some of the angel investors.
So you would like to believe, and thankfully so maybe, that the investors have changed processes and they're now investing, or at least thinking about investing in thought processes or ideas per se, not like the old days.
No, absolutely. Yes.
So the year is again 2008, 2009. People who have spent time in the mobility world like me would know that certain things or certain very big movements in the mobility world happened at a point of time.
Yeah.
You remember some of them, and maybe those milestones or those announcements kind of had an effect on you to take a decision that you just mentioned?
Yeah, I think Apple for sure had a large impact. Because once you think about mobile internet, so I would say that Apple in a true way demonstrated what is the future of mobile internet. Right? If you remember, I don't know if people have caught this up, but when Steve Jobs launched his phone, his first iPhone, he never demonstrated the calling facilities of the phone. Right? So he demonstrated YouTube, he demonstrated mobile internet, and in the last he said, you know what, this can also make a call. So that's the way he positioned his product, right? And I think that was very amazing. And I think that's what I could kind of correlate. Whatever I'm thinking in mobile internet space is a large space, for sure. People will start adopting smartphones. People will start kind of doing lots of things on smartphones. And once people are hooked up on smartphones, there will be automations required. People will have more and more, I would say, expectations from the device. People would want device to do many more things as they move along. And that's what I think I got when I got stuck with my own idea of what I want to do. I could correlate, and I think for sure. But yes, Apple was one of.
So another Steve Jobs fan, ladies and gentlemen. Let not the lack of bottlenecks fool you. So before your startup, you had another stint, and now back to your first company. Supposedly your first company, Motorola. How did that transition happen? Were you forced to take that up, or because of the lack of investments, you had to take it up?
No, yeah, I think Motorola happened because my wife got pregnant and she wanted me to get back in Pune. And the other plan was that she was ready to come where I was, but then she came, I remember she came in one of those heavy rainy day in Mumbai. And you can imagine when a person is coming on a rainy day in Mumbai, what, picture he or she could live when she's leaving out, right? And she stepped in Mumbai from the bus. She couldn't find an auto, and she was actually pregnant that for a lot of time. No auto rickshaw was kind of stopping to take her to a place where she wanted to go. So 30% cut off. I don't know to come to Mumbai now. When she came to the place where I was staying, in Mumbai we all know, irrespective of whatever place you're staying, it's all filled by waters, maybe 1 feet or 2 feet based on how systems are there over there.
Sometimes 6 feet.
Maybe, 6 feet. Luckily I didn't go through the place. But she came into a 1 feet thing, and the other 70% was all dead. So she's like, boss, come back to Pune. And that's why I got Motorola invite and because they were expanding, Motorola acquired this company called as Zingo, founded by Patan, who is another member of TiE. And they were looking to build out team in Pune for one of the new global products they wanted to do on their own. And I found that opportunity very nice. It was something new again, and took up and came to Motorola, and that's where actually I met my first angel investor in Pune. So I think it was just happening, by your fortune that you have to come back to Pune because you're supposed to meet your investor there. And I actually happened to meet one of my common friends who introduced to my angel investor in the same Motorola building.
it's just not you that you were fortunate, because once you joined Motorola, the fortunes turned on them and they got acquired by Google.
That's very modest and nicest way. I hope Google is not listening to this.
So third round of acquisitions that you're involved in now, and finally you met your angel investor. So how did this process? You said you met them through common friends. Did they like your idea, or did they have some apprehensions, or how did it go about?
Right, so I think this is when Google announced the acquisition of Motorola, so I decided now it's the time to actually step out, and start doing something which I wanted to do. And I think I had enough experience of 13-14 years across all leadership roles, all product roles, global products, global vendors, global customers. And I stepped out and started discussing with some of the angel investors. We all know that in India, angel investors are still conservative in nature. And I would say that I was very lucky for something which I was thinking. I got an investor who invested into this. Otherwise, there would have been no way in 2010, 2011, somebody could have invested into an artificial intelligence technology, right? I mean, many tech-focused people don't understand that so easily. Forget about angel investors who are doing something else. They never thought about what would really artificial intelligence things. So even some guys told me that, are you idiot, you want to make a phone a human? It's not going to happen. Forget about that. But I was lucky that that investor really had this vision. But having said that, it was just not he just liked it and invested. So I actually took feedback, because I used to work with many other companies. So I took feedback from many mobility companies, through my own channels, and got to understand, do you think that this has a larger play and a global play? In future. So I think everybody gave a brave response, and that's what I shared with my angel investor before investing as well. His family is also working in companies like Microsoft and Google, so they got feedback from there. So it was overall that feedback mechanism also happened in a way, and I think he took a shot. I would say that he took a shot. Maybe even he got the feedback, but he just took a shot.
They always do.
Yeah.
So left your comfort zone, out from a job, although with the question of angel investment now. Starting off. So did you have some co-founders along with you? Starting off, what was your core team like?
So I think in my case, my investor himself was a co-founder in a way. I would say he was a passive co-founder, but he was the only co-founder who was guiding me from a financial perspective, from an operational perspective. I took care of technology and sales, and he played a passive role, but making sure the operational part and the financial part is kind of nicely attached, and you're not really burning cash.
So he really made sense to the word angel.
Yeah, he made absolute sense to an angel for sure. And at the same point of time, he was very patient also in a way, to an extent, because this was a next generation technology, right? I mean, it was not something you roll out today and you start making money from next month. He was very patient, I would say, because he got to know the potential of that in long term. Because I actually took him along, and we traveled together to big Samsung offices in Korea, to LG office in Korea, many other large customers, Nokia office in Noida, to understand what people are saying, whether we're doing right, whether we're doing wrong. And I was also very keen on meeting customers right from the beginning. So I didn't wait for launch of the product, because we knew our product going to take maybe 1.5 years to go full-fledged launch, and maybe another 6 months to get adopted, and then you start making money. So as you know, product life cycle, you have 2 years life cycle of just building, improving, and then launching it finally, and then getting adoptions and your money coming in, right? I think he played a key role, and we understood that for a lot of time.
Okay. And so again, you stuck to your core ideas or your core abilities of product improvement, product making, something that Pune per se doesn't kind of ideate or relate to, right? It's more of services, IT services. So how did you find the whole ecosystem adapting to it? Pune per se, had you had challenges finding people to join you? Any rejections from customers?
I think two parts, right? So building a team, important. So Pune per se, even though we have been into this information technology and services, but end of the day, people were making product for somebody else anyway, right? So there were experiences